our tribe under Website Secrets, my plan has always been to create different insights about key places on our website, how to approach this in a way that targets the visitors and just to understand even, because I think that the problem often is that we don't really think about, like, do I actually understand what is the difference between a homepage and a landing page? What elements should be there? You know, and I've tried everything, literally. I think I've tried everything that's possible to do with your landing page. And I came to a conclusion, you know, and I've learned from so many people, and, you know, I've done my own website was audited so many times. And what really stood out is this whole idea that the homepage is really for people who don't yet know you. And it's very important to operate, and everything that you put there comes from that mindset that these people don't yet know or have any desire necessarily to work with you as a coach. However, we're not talking about completely random visitors, right? They were either referred by someone, or maybe they follow you on social media and they saw a link and they just want to check you out. So it's like still very research stage. Or there are people who maybe they're editors, like maybe you are pitching to be published in a publication and the editor comes in. So when the editor comes into your website, what are they looking for? They're looking for clarity. And this is really, really good news, even though sometimes it might feel like, well, you know, I only care about clients. I don't care about editors. And that was kind of my attitude before. But what I see now is that when you look at it without this agenda to sell, you can actually sell yourself so much better, and you can be so much more strategic about it. Because what an editor of a publication would look for is literally to understand straight away what you do for people, how you do it, so your method, you know, what are the elements, not too detailed, but just to have an idea, right? And also seeing that you are actually capturing those who are interested in taking the next step, capturing their details. So having some sort of like opt-in, like growing your list. Now, I know, Marcia, here, you're building your personal brand. This is really much more about someone who maybe a coach, right? So, or that kind of business. But for you, there's still a lot, I think, that you will pick on anyway, and you will get a lot of this. So not every element would apply. And I think that an opt-in for you, for a blogger, not necessarily would be important that much on the homepage, right? So one of the things, and you can go read the whole, this is a lot I wrote with screenshots and everything. So I'm going to go through a couple of things and just kind of show you. I also think I'm going to open my website. Oh, there's so many bars here. I'm going to open my website. So I decided to use my own website for this example because I structured it with this principle in mind. A couple of things also let's talk about. So what is a landing page versus a home page? Do you guys understand the difference between the landing page and the, like, okay, so the home page, as I said, is like random people can come in, and people who are just researching, people don't know you very well. A landing page is usually dedicated to a particular offer. It could be free or paid, but it's somewhere where you would drive traffic to. If you are promoting some sort of PDF, you will have a landing page where they can opt in. If you're promoting a program like WildFit, you know, there will be a page where there's all this information about WildFit. And in a way, that will be a landing page where you're sending targeted traffic to. So of course, some random people might somehow get onto those landing pages, but they're not designed for random people or people who don't know you. They're designed for people who know you and want more information. Here, you're giving them more information, or actually giving them a chance to sign up, right? So for example, on my website here, if you go into, say, guiding and coaching, right, I have a page for visibility by design. There's private coaching, there's content to leads, visibility, that sales accelerator. Technically, each one of those pages, I would say, are landing pages for a separate offer. Does it make sense? So for example, Marcie, for you, your portfolio is kind of a landing page for your art, whereas the homepage is just an introductory, like it's literally the front door. And what is the sign you have over the front door? Am I going to knock at it? Am I going to walk through it? How excited I am to walk through that door. That's what homepage does. And this is really good to have this impression. There was one mistake I think I was making, and I was, when we were doing the website audits, I was thinking about it earlier today. I sometimes said to a couple of you guys, I said, especially Wildfit coaches, that you probably won't be just ranking in Google, and everyone that's coming to your website will be people who already know you. That is possible, right? That is possible. But I would still have a little bigger picture in mind, you know. So if I was to advise you, should you make it more about Wildfit or more, I would say no. Make it like, let's have a look at these elements that are very important, and you can maybe adjust, but less is more on a homepage. This is the lesson I'm learning. And I'm not talking about less because my homepage is ridiculously long. I don't have like less is more in terms of how many elements I included on my homepage. But what I removed from here is a lot of selling, or a lot of things that are strangers are way too far from that stage when they're going to consider. Because when people who know us land on their homepage, they actually go into the menu. Do you agree? Is like your own behavior. Say, for example, you know a coach and you come to the website, you want to see what courses they do. You just go straight into the menu. You're saving yourself time. So this is kind of like a logical behavior. And the homepage there's another approach to the homepage, because people who might visit our website, they don't know us just yet. They don't have any emotional connection with us just yet, right? And this is who we're optimizing it for. And then the rest, you know, if they have their connection, that's great. You know, this doesn't matter because they will go into the menu, or, you know, maybe they will land on a landing page. There's a few little terminology things that are important, you know. So one of them, for example, I don't know if you know what is the fold when you're talking about a website, a fold. So the fold is what you see on a page. On a phone, obviously, it's very small, right? But the fold is like what you see. So this is a first fold. This is the first thing you see on my website. When I scroll down, there's going to be a second fold. When I scroll down, there's third fold. So it's kind of third element, right? And this is not a perfect website. So it's not like this is how we have to model it now. I'm just talking about how to understand, like this is another fold, so another view as you scroll down. So the elements in these folds are super, super important, especially on the very first fold, because as the website loaded, and that's what they see, what this needs to answer is like the biggest question: what's in it for me? So if I don't know who Juliette is, and you know, I don't know even how I got here. Maybe there was an article or something, there's a link. So I came in here. What does she do? Visibility by design, coaching and training. Okay, I don't know what visibility by design is, but let's see. Marketing by human design strategies. More clear. Now you have like, okay, this is marketing, and the method a little bit there as well. For who? For coaches and experts. So I kind of answered to a stranger. I just told them, this is what we're going to be talking about here, right? And the next thing, what I have, and this is quite important to build, this has been built over the years, but this is the credibility markers, because the first thing they see, my picture, there could be completely different, maybe more friendly picture. This is very authoritative one. So there is something in the text that answers this question. That's what this person does. This is what it is. And then there's a bit of a credibility, you know, as seen in, and it's just psychologically really positions you straight away as an authority, straight away as, you know, micro celebrity, straight away you're a little bit above to look up to, right? So that's an important fold. Then my website has a big mistake right now, because I made this video, I'm testing things all the time, right? And I actually looked at YouTube and there's almost no views. Nobody's watching the video on my homepage that I was just so proud to make. So maybe this is not as necessary, because the homepages, if it's for strangers, it's not really that important for them. They just want to see, okay, what's in it for me, right? And especially that I'm selling straight away. So that's a mistake, definitely. The next and the second fold on the homepage, it's really good. So if I landed here, this already is what I'm looking for. I'm like, yeah, I need to be more visible, marketing, human design. Okay, interesting. I want to know what's next. The next thing you should be seeing on the website is really somewhere where you can enter the website owner's funnel. So the opt-in form, this is here actually a little course that I have on human design. There's other ways of presenting, obviously very traditional. I'm going to show you a different one. So this would be a much more traditional side-by-side way to present the opt-in form. A pop-up also can work very well, but I think that when it's just on the page, it's really, really good. Pop-ups can be a little annoying to some people. And so here you're, first of all, this needs to speak directly to, if a stranger who is somewhat interested in this topic wants to know more, what's that thing? What's that thing I need to either educate them or maybe shift some sort of mindset? Or so what are they coming to this website for? Is it losing weight? What's the bottom line, basically, thing? For me, it's like, how do you enjoy your marketing? And that's why I'm explaining it in this freebie. So when you're thinking about what should I give as a freebie, you really need to think about what's the bottom line problem that I'm helping to shift. And that's what it should be about, right? So then the correct person who landed, they might not know you yet. The first fold seemed correct. The next thing, you will give them exactly in the area what they're looking for, even if it's not the whole thing. Of course, it's not the whole thing. It's only a part of the puzzle, but a piece of the puzzle. You're going to give them that piece of the puzzle here, but they will get onto your list. They will get into your marketing funnel. Does it make sense? Yeah. So that's the kind of next thing. After that, for those people, not everyone straight away is like, okay, take my email. You would want to go a little bit into explaining your method or why you're doing what you're doing, but not your story. So this is not personal stories. We're still educating the person who is landing. Why is your method best? Why is this most effective? What are you doing? And in my text here, and as I said again, this maybe is not like it's not a textbook. It's just an example. But what I'm looking here to portray, or to where I want to trigger people, is I want to talk about the fact that marketing is so important, because that's how people perceive you, right? How you show up. And you really created your business not to kill yourself in marketing, but you wanted some sort of like a life of freedom. But then you come to the online world and get overwhelmed because too much stuff going on, right? And you see somebody successful try and do what they do, and you get burnt out. Why? It's not because you're stupid. It's not because something's wrong with you. You just have different aura. You have different strategy in life, right? And I think it's so empowering. So, and this is not, and then just at the end, without going into any details, I'm literally saying to them, this is the article actually linked. So if somebody wants to, somebody's a researcher like me, click on that, read more. But it basically tells you can find your way and figure it out, right? And I myself decided to just add a few blog articles to give it a chance. Somebody reads this and this spoke to them. I triggered them. I want to give them now more information to read, and so then they can go have a look here. The truth is that after these three elements, after these three elements, it's good to have some testimonials. If you have a video testimonials collection, it's really good. If you have testimonials that are text-based, I don't remember where, I think when I was working with Selena Sue in her Impacting Millions, there was a rule of 3. So 3 testimonials on a page that is not all about testimonials or not selling on that page an offer, 3 is enough. and then you can always have a button like read more testimonials, and have a page where you always, every screenshot that you take and every testimonial you get, you just add there into testimonials page. So you can do that. And I find that as well, when I go into the phone, these all of these are getting stacked up, and then again, they're taking too much. So maybe on my website, I can hide some of the testimonials. So I will just see which ones are more powerful out of this. And then maybe I'll hide one or two, so you have to always, when you're working with your website, have your mobile phone beside you, because 80% of people, and probably more now these days in 2022, are using internet on their mobile devices or tablets. I know a lot of people, even business owners, who don't even own a laptop or a desktop. So we have to always see how it looks, and is there too much space that this element is taking, and then we need to tweak. So always mobile first. What happens after these testimonials is you get more freedom there. And where I'm talking about less is more, I actually think that this is way too much. I need to just go and delete this. You can, but you don't have to list all your programs, because as we said, when you actually want to know about programs, you go into the menu. You're not going to scroll all the way to the bottom of the homepage to find the programs, right? You'll go to the menu. So it again, doesn't have to be here. I just have loads of different freebies, because I know people come to me, some come for marketing, some come human design and marketing. So I want to kind of have like different things, that different ways I can capture. Again, you don't have to do it. One freebie is absolutely enough. And this is not a perfect website. And then there's a little bit of your story. Now, you see how my story is so long. My God, I need to really rewrite it, because nobody cares at this point on the homepage about me and my story. They care about what I can do for them. So it's a good idea to always flip the script. And when even you're talking about yourself, who you are, less information, and basically saying to them, imagine this, or have you ever felt, flipping the script. That's how we flip the script. We tell a story, we tell a little bit about, the background, but we flip the script to bring them in. So they're not just passively reading, that they are emotionally involved. They're thinking or recalling, or, and they're emotionally involved in this. And have a much smaller, I'm definitely rewriting this, have a much smaller section, and then you can have a button saying my story, and then you bring them into about page. And next time I'm going to do a training on about page, right? And give you a few elements on how to present yourself. Because at the end of the day, sometimes, and I know with Leanne, we've had this conversation, yes, it is about you in terms of that you are competition free, because a person will choose you over someone with exactly the same offer and set of skills just because they like you. So yes, it is about you, but when a person is investing, it's all about them. So we always have to answer that question. What's in it for this person who is reading? Where you can really pour out your personal insights, especially if you are that kind of person. Maybe your human design profile is, has these lines that are self-absorbed. I'm the super self-absorbed person. Use your blog and social media to talk about yourself, and the homepage, rewrite, try and flip it and talk about them. So for example, I can say, I am a marketer of 20 years. If you work with me, this is what you get. That's how you flip the script. Does it make sense? It's kind of very simple. It's just the mindset thing. It's like, don't talk about yourself right now. You're not here in the center stage. The person who's reading is always in the spotlight. And I think that this is really important. And I know that in the article there, you can take time then and read. I wrote it all, probably better than rewatching this. There's a section I put here, common mistakes. And I did put, this is the biggest mistake. When I sometimes do website audits, I land on the page and it's all about a person. It's all about them talking about themselves. And I feel like sometimes it's like, okay, when are we done celebrating that you started a business? When are we done celebrating that you are helping people? I want something for me. How are you helping me? You didn't even tell me. This was too vague for me to understand. So I am not interested now in booking that call, because there's a button, book a call, but I'm not interested because I don't know what you do for me. That's why we have to always flip the script. And then, as I mentioned,
Sorry, can I ask something? So,
of course.
For my specific thing, then I could say something like, if you buy a mosaic from me, then this is what you get. something like that, instead of I make mosaics like this and that.
I wouldn't, you know, with art selling, I wouldn't necessarily say if you buy. I wouldn't use that because that just feels very heavy. But
Yeah.
what I would do is I say, if you owned one of my work or one of these pieces, you are you know, you're partaking in the journey. So you need to think about what your promise is, right? But this is how I would flip the script. I wouldn't be so direct saying buy it from me, but I would definitely say, you know, I think that, you know, my pieces bring a lot of this energetic stuff that I pour into it. So one of like some of this in these insights, and you know, you can have some of these pieces if they really speak to you, or maybe the story behind them speak to you. So and you can bring them, and that could become part of your growth journey and always remind you and become a symbol. You know, you use these little phrases to make it meaningful for them. That's what I think.
Yeah, thanks.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
We all should really think about how do we make this. And I love that you asked this, because, you know, it's much harder to sell art than to sell a coaching program, although it's very hard to sell a coaching program too. Selling is not that easy if we don't have all the elements in place and we know what we're doing and, you know, all these kind of things. Selling is not that easy. So how do we sell? By creating a meaningful connection between what we're selling and what they want.